for the African National Congress, with just a few days to go to its National Elective Conference. We're joined by Brian Nakedi, who is part of the ANC's Free State Strategic Dialogue Group chapter. Thank you very much for availing yourself this morning. Just how far and wide is this practice, especially when we take a look at what is happening in Bloemfontein, where some people eventually went to the courts, some alleging irregularities, corruption and fraud with the processes at branch level. How far and wide, to your knowledge, is that practice?
Well, the issue really here is that when there is division within the structure like the ANC, you would find that there are, kind of parallel actions taken by different leaders, and there would be allegations and counter-allegations. And this really speaks to the issues of disunity, essentially. So it is difficult to prove any allegations, but you can see in practice that divisions are across the board.
You point out that it would be quite difficult to prove the allegations. We know that the Treasurer General has since asked for investigations to get underway, not only in the Free State, but in the Western Cape as well. How do you perceive that process is then going to unfold? And if it is found indeed to be true that there were irregularities in the form of fraud and corruption at branch level, how should it be dealt with?
Well, the ANC has got guidelines. As the Free State SDG chapter, we believe that the organization must actually adhere to its own rules and regulations so that it can ensure that there is transparency, there is visibility in terms of how participatory democracy is taking place within the organization, but also importantly, we would love to see much reflected in terms of the ANC and its ideological orientation taking place, because as things stand, a lot of things are happening and you can hardly identify the character of the organization because of this discord.
You speak of ideological orientation and it being difficult to identify it. This is an organization that is over 100 years old. It's got a large membership. How then do you perceive that this renewal that the party is currently, or renewal process that the party is currently undertaking, what path should it follow, right? Especially when we speak of ideological orientation. Can we just put it down to ideological orientation? Do people join the party not knowing what they are going in for, or do you perceive that there's more to it, where people are joining the party for other benefits?
Well, quite clearly, for the past few years, it has been very clear that, the membership of the ANC is characterized by people with different interests instead of what should happen, i.e. that when individual members are recruited into the ANC, they should be taken through a political educational process that orientate them to what the ANC is all about, and pledged to the mission of the ANC, guided by basic documents such as the Freedom Charter, so that people understand that this is not for individual, gratification and benefits, but it's more about societal development. And as things stand, we do realize that there's been a tendency of anti-developmental posture and also very much counter-revolutionary tendencies. At the heart of the ANC in Mangaung, it is clear that the Mangaung Metropolitan Municipality seems to be the gem, that is attracting everybody, and as such, focus is lost on how we should go about.
Thank you very much for availing yourself this morning. Brian Nakedi is the Free State SDG chapter.